Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. I'm your Tuesday, Thursday show host, Skylar Angus Barker. We've got a great show coming up with some information about Dorothy Fraley remembering sharing a telephone party line with her neighbors growing up. And Stephanie Perez Munoz talking about spring burnout and how it affects our students. And don't touch that dial because Timothy Gutmann will share some things that you don't want to miss. You're listening to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakimick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. In USM campus news, T.W. Bennett Research Symposium set for April 24th at Southern Miss Hattiesburg campus. The 2025 T.W. Bennett Symposium is on April 24th at the University of Southern Mississippi's Trent Lott National Center on the Hattiesburg campus. This event will highlight the societal benefits of scientific research in higher education at the state, national, and global levels. This year's symposium is themed Fundamental Research with a Purpose, where distinguished speakers from academia, industry, and national laboratories. Jeffrey Wiggins, serving as keynote speaker, had this to say. It's an honor to be at the Bennett Professor and use it as a platform, not only in my work, but also through the symposium, to understand how we can further create value for the university's research initiatives in cooperation with business for the betterment of society. I believe making sure its academic level research value is recognized through economic development in Mississippi and how it can play a vital role in supporting small companies, ability to spur job growth, meet production and service goals, and help our society prosper. In Hattiesburg news, Hattiesburg Zoo receives accreditation from the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. You've heard that right. The Hattiesburg Zoo has received accreditation from the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. These accreditations are checking if the zoo is running properly and with proper professionalism. All staff are checked, and some are interviewed about their respective position and their thoughts. During the accreditation, they are given potential things to improve for their next accreditation. The Hattiesburg Zoo is also going to be celebrating their 75th anniversary soon, where there will be specialty food and events. In Mississippi news, one injured after car flips, catching fire in Estabuchi. A 27-year-old woman was injured on Monday when her car flipped, catching fire at the intersection of Warren Mott Parkway and Church Street. According to Jones County Public Information Officer Lance Chancellor, the driver crawled out of the vehicle on her own, burning her arm. The driver told Chancellor that all she could remember was turning the curve and the car flipping. The woman was transported to Forest General Hospital, suffering burns and impact injuries. Also in Mississippi news, we won't let this go in vain. Church grieves loss of heroic deacon killed saving lives. The Empowerment Ministries Christian Center are mourning the loss of one of their church's deacons. Deacon Eddie Shedd, who is also the head of security at the ministry, has died from gunshot wounds when intervening in an argument. Pastor Greg McGee states this about the loss. This guy, he was a part of our family, our church. We are one big family, and so we all are grieving, as pastor all the way down to the babies themselves. He did a great heroic thing, but if I could go back and change anything, I wouldn't want it to be at the cost of his life. A GoFundMe has been arranged by the church and can be found online. In national news, Hero, Michigan police use heat cam to rescue missing toddler wearing only diapers on frigid night. Spring evening temperatures around Detroit were at a high of 40 degrees when Jackson County State Troopers took to the air to search for a toddler who'd gone missing in nothing but his diaper. The baby had left the apartment when the door was left open. Michigan State Trooper Brandon Franklin and his co-pilot, Cole Martin, took to the skies with infrared heat sensing technology in hopes of finding the child. After 15 minutes of searching, the two men found the baby in a ditch by the highway. The child had been returned to their parents and is safe and sound at their home. We'll be right back with sports and weather after a word from our sponsors.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water, water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online. Sponsorship comes from American Graphics. Located at 8 Commercial Warehouse Drive in Hattiesburg, American Graphics provides custom screen printing and embroidery. They can be reached by phone at 601-602-2277, and the website is goamericangraphics.com. American Graphics, printing at its finest.
Welcome back to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. Now for your sports. Baseball finishes road swing at Southeastern Louisiana. Southern Miss baseball team will finish an 8-game road swing today at 6 p.m. contest versus Southeastern Louisiana at Pat Kennelly Diamond. When our Golden Eagles return from the contest, the Golden Eagles will return home for a 5-game homestand starting with the Sun Belt Series with Georgia State. That series runs Thursday through Saturday due to the Eastern weekend. Game times are 6 p.m. both on Friday and Saturday with a 1 p.m. Saturday contest. Fullerton breaks school record as track and field competes at Crimson Tide Invitational. Javel Fullerton etched his name into the Southern Miss history books over the weekend, breaking the school record in the men's 400-meter hurdles jump with a time of 50.85 seconds to highlight the Golden Eagles' performance. Congratulations, Javel. Men's golf holds 7th place after opening day of Old Waverly Collegiate. Southern Miss shot team rounds of 287 and 294 to hold 7th place after the first 36 holes of the Old Waverly Collegiate Monday in West Point, Mississippi. Congratulations, Eagles. To keep up with all the Golden Eagles sports activities, head on over to southernmiss.com. Now on for your weather. We started off with mostly cloudy weather, but it'll soon be sunny skies this afternoon. It's going to be a bit windy with north winds to 5 to 20 miles per hour. Our highs for today are in the upper 70s and our lows are in the upper 40s. It is currently 75 degrees and our humidity is at 35%. Up next, we have Dorothy Fraley remembers sharing a telephone party line with her neighbors growing up. Check it out.
This is Mississippi Moments, produced by the Center for Oral History and Cultural Heritage at the University of Southern Mississippi and supported by the Mississippi Humanities Council. I'm Bill Ellison. Throughout the 20th century, many rural telephone customers shared a common phone line with their neighbors. Dorothy Fraley recalls their party line growing up in Brooksville.
We lived 4 miles in the country, but we had a telephone, and it was a party line. It was privately owned. There were 6 people, maybe 8, that owned this line, and the boys in our families kept it up. And somebody would shoot an insulator off, or there'd be a limb fall on the line. The boys in the families would have to go fix it. But our ring, we didn't have a number, but our ring on that party line was 2 longs. Ring, ring, and we knew that somebody was calling us, and it went into Central in Brooksville. It was a brick building there, right in the area close to where Tim's is now. Dr. Ratcliffe's office was downstairs. And Miss Angie Patterson was a central lady. And Miss Angie and her son lived upstairs.
Bill Ellison hosts Voices of Our People World War II, a new podcast from Mississippi Moments, sponsored by the Mississippi Humanities Council. That's Voices of Our People World War II, wherever you get your podcasts.
That was Dorothy Fraley. Coming up, we've got a special guest that you don't want to miss.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water, water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online.
What is dedication?
My daughter is biological and my son is adopted. I love them both so much. From the morning when you wake up to putting them to bed at night and every moment in between. I think a parent's job is to protect our children, but also prepare them for the world so they become good, kind human beings.
That's dedication. Find out more at fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. Now, please give a warm Golden Eagle welcome to Timothy Gutmann. Hey, how are you?
How you doing? Doing great.
Good. So, first and foremost, for anyone who doesn't know you, can you tell us about yourself?
Certainly. I am assistant professor of philosophy and religion. Mm-hmm. I share the responsibility for all the religions in the world with one other wonderful colleague, Dr. Amy Slagle. Between the two of us, we are responsible for all of that. So you will have met her or me as your guide to the world of comparative religion. That's the general education class. And I also teach other classes on Islamic traditions, on East Asian thought, on issues of politics and violence with respect to religion as well.
Right. That's amazing. And you actually mentioned that some of your areas of expertise include Islamic studies, East Asian studies, also modern social and intellectual history. Can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. I'm finishing a book project, so I relate to my students who I give deadlines because I'm on an extraordinarily tight one myself. I'm finishing a book right now about the idea that everybody has got to go to school. This is an idea we take for granted in the modern world, but it's quite a recent one to have developed. And I look at how this idea came to Egypt and also came to China around the same time, about 120 years ago, and how that new idea that everybody's got to go to school changed older ideas that you only have to study things formally if you're going to have a certain kind of vocation, a certain kind of relationship to the community. It looks at that change.
That's amazing. That's really cool. And you mentioned earlier that you're actually an assistant professor of philosophy and religion here at USM.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that?
Absolutely, yeah. So the philosophy and religion program is one where you can explore the devotional and deliberative forms of life that you encounter in the world. So if you are interested in what the good life is, if you're interested in questions of justice and beauty and truth, you can take classes with us. Philosophy and religion are different fields. A lot of places separate them into different departments, but we are very happy to be together and to work across those boundaries to think about what we're all here for.
Right. And I think like a lot of people when it comes to philosophy have like this like conception of it of being like questioning life and what that means overall. Do you think that that's like true when it comes to philosophy, or do you think that there's a lot broader like to it?
That's a really, really good question. I'm going to take a second to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
To be short, yes, there is a very, very big, broad world out there that's covered by philosophy. There's a world that asks the kind of questions that Socrates asked. Socrates is the one who says an unexamined life is not worth living, that you have to be always critically evaluating everything. But it's not everybody who says it quite like that. And there's quite a wide array of thinking about where we came from and what we want to do with our time in this world and where we fit into the bigger picture of the universe. Both the human world, we share a planet with a bunch of other people. That's how we see things in the School of Humanities, but also in the bigger picture as well.
Awesome. That's really cool. So with the main event being the philosophy and religion colloquium, can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. The colloquium is a chance for students and colleagues to talk to faculty about what they're doing at the moment. Every year we like to ask each member of the philosophy and religion program to give us a little talk about something they're working on. Usually it's an ongoing research project. That was what my colloquium was on a couple months ago. And the colloquium coming up tomorrow is with Dr. Ian Dunkel.
Yeah. We're going to be talking a little bit more about Ian Dunkel in a bit, but is this event free, or does it cost any money to attend this event?
This is free and open to the public. Come one, come all.
Awesome. So it's completely open to the public, so it's not just students that can arrive, right?
No, come one, come all.
Okay, awesome. And when is this event?
This is going to be at 4 p.m. tomorrow. That's April 16th.
Yeah. Okay. So April 16th, come one, come all. Anyone who wants to talk about philosophy or is interested in philosophy or religion can come to this event. And there's actually specifics that we'll talk about in just a second. There's a question being presented. Does mocking, ridiculing, laughing at art detract from our appreciation of it? Or does ridicule enhance our aesthetic appreciation by deepening our engagement? Can you tell us about that?
Absolutely, yes. So the short answer to those is come and see, come and find out. This is Dr. Dunkel's presentation. Dr. Dunkel is an aestheticist. He is a theorist of the beautiful in the arts, and more properly, how people relate to artwork. He's done classes on great, terrible movies. Those are like those movies that you watch specifically because they're bad.
With the example of movies, I can think of like a lot of examples where like some people like love the movie to death, and then some people like they hate watch it, or that concept of hate watching, and other people like they like it so much because they don't like it. And it's absolutely an interesting topic, and it's amazing that that's going to be explored upon. In your personal opinion, what does mocking do with art?
This is something that hopefully we'll get a chance to talk about with Dr. Dunkel when we all get together tomorrow. But what laughter often represents is complicated. It's enjoyment that you can share with other people. There's a big social aspect to it. Sometimes it's recognition when you recognize something about yourself that can give you a moment of reflection that can manifest as laughter. And other times we're laughing even as we're crying. Other times we are telling jokes to cope. And all of that is involved in the world of comedy. No matter what's happened to human beings have always told jokes, if you think about it. These are part of the world of questions that we are going to get into. And if you've got other questions about cult classics or what makes something good and terrible at the same time, you'll want to come down and hear what Dr. Dunkel's got to say.
Absolutely. And is there anything else about Ian Dunkel, Dr. Ian Dunkel, excuse me, that you can give us a little teaser about?
Absolutely. So Dr. Dunkel is an expert on Friedrich Nietzsche, who's a very exciting philosopher from the late 19th century, the late 1800s. And he also works on the philosophy of disability, which is a really important emerging field that looks at questions of accessibility, but also about what does a fairer world look like given people's different ability levels. Given all of our differences in ability. These are the kinds of questions that he thinks about. They're what he works on and writes about.
Right, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for explaining more things about Dr. Ian Dunkel. And if I'm understanding this correctly, they're going to be referencing Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know that, can you tell us what that is?
Yeah, so Mystery Science Theater is a commentary show. What it'll be is... there are hilarious science fiction characters that are like a motley crew of space aliens. And what they are doing is they are watching terrible old movies. So the show actually consists of that terrible old movie, whatever it
Yeah.
is, and the kind of laugh track type of commentary by the crew of space aliens. So they will comment, just like if you're watching something with a group of friends and you're okay with talking about it, or if you're at one of those kind of movie theaters where people just seem to have gotten into the habit of talking constantly through the thing.
Right,
So you'll get that dimension of experience. You'll get to see some truly weird movies that you probably haven't heard of. I certainly, whenever I see Mystery Science Theater, I would have not heard of it, whatever movie is happening on the screen. And you'll get to have the reactions of some wacky space aliens who, very often are reacting just the same way you and I are, which is to look at it and say,
Right.
what were people thinking?
Absolutely. I mean, commentary is such a big thing within society. Like, I think it's always been that, but like, especially today, there's like commentary like on like YouTube channels. There's commentary on like there's the director's commentary when it comes to movies, and it's so interesting like being able to hear the commentary that is being brought up. But it's especially like more quirky and fun having a bunch of like these science fictional characters that are all like talking over a movie, and like they're going like, what's going on? What's happening with us? And it's absolutely fun and it's exciting. What type of advice do you have for students that are interested in philosophy?
The advice I have for students interested in philosophy is to check us out. We are always looking for anyone who's interested in these big questions, both in the classes that we have now and developing our curriculum together with our students' interests. And this includes people who are maybe majoring in other things, who are interested in other things, but who have a particular curiosity from the world of philosophy, from the world of contemplation that they want to bring to us. So my advice would be to check us out. We are only a little bit as weird as we seem.
I love that. I love that. And with this, going back to the colloquium that's coming up, is there going to be any talk about religion also at this event, or is it just mainly going to be on the concept of philosophy?
There is, if you want to bring it. So Dr. Dunkel's in the philosophy program, and his is a philosophy project.
Yeah.
But I'm somebody who thinks this line is not all that consistently drawn. And no matter what you're interested in, if you think the topic is something you want to hear more about and think more about, you're welcome to come with your questions and your comments. I'm saying this especially to students. We in the program benefit from hearing what people in the classroom have to think.
Yeah, absolutely. And in your personal opinion, when it comes to that line between philosophy and religion, where is that line, and what does that line like represent?
It all really depends. I first actually got into religion because I wanted to think more about where and how it's distinguished from philosophy. The short answer, and I don't know whether the people in the philosophy program are going to like this so good, is very often what the language is. If it's Greek or German, it's philosophy, and if not, it's religion. So I'm only being a little bit sarcastic with that response. That's not a full response to that question. But the traditions that we call philosophy have a very specific origin, and they have a specific history and logic to them that in our modern world we tend to think of as doing certain things as being rational, as being reasonable, as being logical, as imposing a good sense and good order on our crazy world. And we tend to think of religion in different terms. We tend to think of religion as sentimental. We tend to think of it as private and subjective and maybe a little silly and wacky and weird. But these distinctions only 120 or so years ago weren't that way. And then if you look back even further, things were all mixed up together. So the borders that we draw between majors and programs and things, how they are now, you've got to think about them in your academic career, what you want to major in, where you want to work, things of that nature. But very recently, things looked pretty different.
Yeah. Well, that's absolutely fascinating. And I know for me personally, when it comes to like philosophy and religion, like I don't like personally, I don't know where that line used to be, because like I used to view religion as like this like abstract concept. I used to believe religion was like something where it's like it kind of like is your independent definition of what it could be. But that's extremely interesting of what you're bringing up with that connection between the two, and also what it could mean and what it might not mean. But overall, I just find it fascinating. I know that we're running low on time, but is there anything else you want to share with our listeners?
Absolutely. I hope that what we're doing is going to be an ongoing conversation. I don't want to spoil things, but there are big changes for our program that are coming. There's going to be a new way we're going to be connecting with students. So the discussions that happen in the Philosophy and Religion Colloquium, not just about the wonderful paper that we're going to hear, the wonderful talk we're going to have from Dr. Dunkel, but about what it means to be interested in the kinds of things that we're interested in, are going to continue. They're going to continue into the fall when I won't spoil anything. Some big changes are going to be afoot. And we want to make sure that those conversations are as big as we can make them and as inclusive as we can make them. If you've got any interest in all, we want to hear from you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Timothy Gutmann, for coming on today and providing a voice for our Eagles.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Coming up, we've got Stephanie Perez-Munoz talking about spring burnout and how it affects our students. Check it out.
Students face many challenges during the spring semester. National Certified Counselor and Provisional Licensed Professional Counselor Kinsley May says students go through academic burnout.
Academic burnout is a thing because you've been through so much in your fall semester. And if it's your first year as a college student, your academic fall semester is a lot to take in.
May also recommends students different methods to relieve academic stress.
Meditation or deep breathing, coloring the coloring book, taking your mind away from academics. Do something that you're not always pressured to feel like you have to focus on school so much. And the last thing I would say is seek support. If it's with the teacher of your choice, a mentor, a therapist.
Sophomore biological sciences major Vinnie Halsey explains how her seasonal depression affects her course load during the semester.
Maybe it comes from like the sort of seasonal depression, but coming out of January and February, my mental health is kind of like an all-time low for the year, so it's not really helpful when it's combined with trying to pick up new information.
You can text HELLO to 751741 to connect with a trained crisis counselor. Stephanie Perez-Munoz, SMTV.
Thanks for listening to Southern Miss Today on Southern Miss Radio. Huge thanks to Seb Hodges, our audio engineer, and Meadow Smith, our video engineer, for keeping this bird flying. Big shout out to our assistant producer, Sam Romeo, and our program director, Adeline Fields, as well as our executive producer, Ori Ide, and our GM, Dr. Wilbur Martin. Don't forget to follow SM2 Media on social media. I'm your Tuesday Thursday show host, Skylar Angus Barker. Stay golden, Eagles.